Hey, good morning, guys. It is the 30th of October. Tomorrow's Halloween. It's crazy. So it's been a while since I have posted, but I had a couple of things I wanted to share with you, so I thought I would do that. Number one, first one is this book by a monk of all things. His name is Thich Nhat Hanh. I found this book in Scott Spradlin recommended it to me. He recommended it to a class. You don't know who he is. He's a local therapist and deals with a lot of ADHD people, which is me. So anyway, I want to read you this. I'm going to call it a passage, but it's just a little excerpt from this book. I might have read you before, but I'm going to read it to you again. By the way, I've got some music going on in the background. I hope that's not too loud. You know what? Let me turn it down a little bit. All right. So I'm going to read you the longer version of it, but this is called Washing the Dishes to Wash the Dishes. Okay. Now, if you learn this early in life, you'll be way ahead. Okay. Maybe not from a financial standpoint, but perhaps. Or from just from an inner peace standpoint, okay, is probably what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so let's just get started. 30 years ago, when I was still a novice at, I can't pronounce it, Tu Hi Pagoda, washing the dishes was hardly a pleasant task. During the season of retreat, when all the monks returned to the monastery, 2 novices had to do all the cooking and wash the dishes for sometimes well over 100 monks. There was no soap. We only had ashes, rice husks, and coconut husks, and that was all. Cleaning such a high stack of bowls was a chore, especially during the winter when the water was freezing cold, when you had to heat up a big pot of water before you could do any scrubbing. Nowadays, one stands in a kitchen equipped with liquid soap, special scrub pads, and even running hot water, which makes it all the more agreeable. It is easier to enjoy washing the dishes now. Anyone can wash them in a hurry, then sit down and enjoy a cup of tea. I can see a machine for washing clothes, although I wash my own things out by hand, but a dishwashing machine is going a little far, says this monk named Thich Nhat Hanh. While washing the dishes, one should only be washing the dishes, which means that while washing the dishes, one should be completely aware of the fact that one is washing the dishes. At first glance, that might seem a little silly. Why put so much stress on a simple thing? But that is precisely the point, he says. The fact that I am standing there and washing these bowls is a wondrous reality. I'm being completely myself, following my breath, conscious of my presence, and conscious of my thoughts and actions. There's no way I can be tossed around mindlessly like a bottle slapped here and there on the waves. Does that make sense? Let me give you a quick example. And guys, you see me do this all the time. I walk in, I'm ticked off because I got to do the dishes. I just want to get them done because I want to get on to the next thing. And I have no ability to enjoy that moment because I'm just thinking, dadgummit, I got to get this done so I can do the next thing. Or so that I can go sit down. Or so that I can go have a smoke. Or so that I can, whatever it is. And we miss so much in just moments of our lives because we're always thinking we got to do the next thing. And that's what Thich Nhat Hanh is saying. okay? So he says the cup is in your hands. In the United States, I have a close friend named Jim Forrest. When I first met him 8 years ago, he was working in the Catholic Peace Fellowship. Last winter, Jim came to visit. I usually wash the dishes after we finish the evening meal, before sitting down and drinking tea with everyone else. One night, Jim asked if he might do the dishes. I said, "Go ahead, but if you wash the dishes, you must know the way to wash the dishes." Jim replied, "Come on, you think I don't know how to wash the dishes?" And I answered, "There are 2 ways to wash the dishes." Hold on a second. The first is to wash the dishes in order to have clean dishes, and the second is to wash the dishes in order to wash the dishes. Jim was delighted and said, "I choose the second way, to wash the dishes to wash the dishes." From then on, Jim knew how to wash the dishes. I transferred the responsibility to him for an entire week. If while washing dishes we think only of the cup of tea that awaits us, listen up here, guys, thus hurrying to get the dishes out of the way as if they were a nuisance, then we are not washing the dishes to wash the dishes. What's more is we are not alive during the time we are washing the dishes. In fact, we are completely incapable of realizing the miracle of life while standing at the sink. If we can't wash the dishes, the chances are we won't be able to drink our cup of tea. Did you catch that? If we can't wash the dishes to wash the dishes, then when we get done and we go to have our cup of tea to just enjoy, this is what people do after dinner, is just have a cup of tea and just enjoy being with one another, enjoy the moment, enjoy the weather, enjoy whatever it is, okay? Just take things in. If you can't do a simple task like wash the dishes to wash the dishes, then other simple tasks like having a cup of tea and just taking it all in, you can't do it, because you're constantly jumping to the next, what do I got to do? Okay? So while drinking the cup of tea, we will only be thinking of other things, barely aware of the cup in our hands. Thus, we are sucked away into the future and we are incapable of actually living 1 minute of life. Okay? Now, guys, I'm just going to tell you, for whatever reason, that really rung true for me, because I'm always thinking about what I got to do next. Okay? And while this can be an effective tool in business and in sometimes in relationships, depending on where things are at, in church, in accomplishing things, you can get to a point in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with all that I have to do that I don't enjoy anything that I am doing. Okay? And guys, I've been there a million times. I'm actually there right now. But right in this moment, I am choosing to make a video for you in order to make a video for you. And I'm just here in this moment. I know that when I'm done with this, what I need to accomplish next will be there, and I will do that as well. And I will do it well because I'm not thinking about what I've got to do next. Anyway, that's my October 30th entry, if you want to call it that. I'm going to call this Wash the Dishes to Wash the Dishes. That's what I'm going to call it. And I hope that when you guys watch this video, it finds you well. And I hope it, if you want, if I'm here, you can ask me for this book. If I'm not around, I'm sure you'll find it in my stuff somewhere. And one of you kids hopefully has it and hopefully didn't throw it away, because it's a good book. I'm going to read a little bit more, maybe a little bit of another chapter at some point today. Anyway, I love you guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and hope this video finds you well. I'll catch up with you later.